Have you ever wondered what secrets goblins might hide? In this story, two sisters may have stumbled upon some of these mysteries, either by chance or design. But is it a blessing or a curse? Let's find out with Fun Tune. The two sisters, orphaned at a young age, lived in neighboring houses. The elder sister, Remy, was selfish and scheming. Her laziness only made her situation worse, leaving her poorer each day. Meanwhile, her kind and hardworking younger sister, Julia, gradually grew wealthier and gained respect in the village. One year, the village suffered from a terrible drought, leaving the river nearly dry and the villagers struggling without water. Julia, always generous, did all she could to help her neighbors, winning their admiration even more. Watching this, Remy grew increasingly envious, thinking, "How unfair that she prospers while I'm left with nothing." Driven by jealousy, Remy devised a plan. That day, she paid a visit to Julia's house, pretending to show concern. Julia welcomed her in warmly, offering her a meal. Remy said, "Julia, with the drought, I'm struggling more than ever financially. I have an idea, though. Why don't we work together on something? Julia, could you lend me some money? Once I finish my business venture, I'll repay you." Julia, happy to see her sister's determination to change, agreed. "Sure, Remy. I'll even go with you to the market." The two sisters gathered the finest goods, loaded them onto the cart, and headed to the market. However, as they neared a mountain by the village, Remy saw an opportunity to carry out a sinister plan. "I'm tired, Julia," Remy said. "Can we rest for a bit?" Julia agreed, not suspecting her sister's true intentions. As Julia looked down from the mountain, Remy took advantage of her moment of defenselessness and pushed her down the cliff. "Farewell, dear sister. Your fortune will be mine," she thought, convinced Julia was gone. Returning to the village, Remy pretended to grieve, telling everyone of Julia's unfortunate passing and claiming her sister's belongings. Meanwhile, Julia, though injured from the fall, survived thanks to the trees below, which broke her fall. "I can't believe Remy would betray me like this," she thought, feeling a surge of determination. "I won't give up." Struggling with her injuries, Julia began to crawl, determined to find a way out. Julia struggled through the dense forest, her pace painfully slow. Night had fallen by the time she finally emerged from the trees. Exhausted, she sank onto a large rock, unable to go any farther. Just before she lost consciousness, she thought, "I can't drag myself another step." When she awoke, it was midnight, and the forest was eerily quiet until she heard voices nearby. Hidden in the shadows were two goblins chatting, unaware of her presence. "It's been a while, brother," one of them said. They continued talking, sharing secrets they'd uncovered in the forest. Julia listened carefully as their conversation grew more intriguing. "Lately, I discovered a great secret," one goblin boasted. "See this ancient tree we're under? Its leaves can heal any injury. Just chew a few leaves, put them on the wound, and it will heal completely." The other goblins seemed impressed. "Good to know. I also found something interesting. You know the village down in the valley? They're in a terrible drought. Little do they know that there's a massive underground water source at the top of the mountain, right beside a big rock." The goblin continued. "However, the water source is blocked by a large golden chest buried right beside it. That's why it doesn't flow into the river below. If someone were to dig up that chest, the water would rush down to the village, giving them all the water they need. And not just water. They'd also find an endless supply of gold." "Endless gold? Really?" the other goblin asked in amazement. "Yes, I've taken some myself, and it never runs out," the first goblin replied proudly. "But no one else knows about it but you and me, so let's keep it our secret." It wasn't until morning that the goblins finally disappeared. Julia, who had overheard everything, waited patiently until they were gone. With a joyful heart, she dragged herself to the ancient tree, picked some leaves, chewed them, and applied them to her injured leg. To her amazement, her broken leg healed almost instantly.